retard, retard, retard.
Hello. Right. Ugh. I'm chilly looking at this picture. I feel cold. Welcome everyone. Avenger, hello. Seran, hello. Lee, wie geht's dir? Lee, I haven't seen you flying along for a while. Are you still doing some flight simming or what's happening? Hey Sim Season, nice to see you. Big shout out as always, guys. If you don't know Sim Season yet, please make sure check out his channel on Twitch. Let me try that again with the applause. There we go. Right. Cool. So, let's see. Hope that works for me. Cool. Yeah. Flight simming just finished with all exams. Nice. Well, that's good to hear. Now, full holiday mode, right? Okay, Lee, that's cool. Yeah, looking forward to that. Very nice. Okay, let's get going. So we already have a couple of friends here. I think we've got Tremonia, we've got Alex, we've got Brenold.
Hello, Black Box.
There he is. Hello, hello. So, I just need to see if I've got a heart mute button set. Let's start scanning. Save changes. Let me see if that works. Oh, there we go. That worked. Right, nice. Game. Oh, yes, you're right, Brenold. You're right. Hang on. Let me just change that.
Welcome
Sorry.
aboard the Captain Black Box YouTube channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Right, that should be now completely corrected. And Sarah, thank you so much for your resub. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. This really small little thank you in the face of your huge support. That's really kind, Sarah. For me, that's a huge sign of support. Thank you so much for that. Very kind of you. Tremonia, all good. I'm sorry that we got misunderstood there regarding my stream schedule. Yeah, so the announcements, I kind of do the announcement for the stream schedule on Discord. I will post that, somewhat kind of ahead of time, so let's say a week ahead of time. But the actual time for the day, so the updated time, is in the announcement itself. And sometimes I simply forget to update the stream schedule title. But there we go. I'm glad we got that sorted out. And just waiting for an announcement. A lonely producer. Thank you so much for the €1. Thank you so much for that. Hey, Milton. Oh, that's sad to hear.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel.
Thank you so much
subscriber
to the lonely
experience.
producer.
Could
Thank
new
you for your support.
subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
And Poor Flies coming in with 19 months
Good evening,
on Twitch.
Captain and fellow passengers. It looks like I will need to pack ice skates for this flight.
Indeed. Yeah, like I said, my room temperature is 23. It's not too bad. But man, looking outside, it is looking somewhat chilly. Oh, okay, I need to check the weather in a minute.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
And thank you so much to
Thank you,
Cassiopeia.
BB711 below.
1 year. I'm sure it's longer than that. Cassiopeia, thank you so much for, let's say 12 months. Thank you so much for long-term support. That's really, really kind. And I know you've been following me for a long, long time. Thank you so much. Right, in case you're wondering why, I am actually doing something different today. And that is, I actually have some in-ear headphones. So they are Bluetooth. And I am hoping that will be a little bit easier on my neck, if you like. Instead of wearing these, which are quite heavy. So we'll see how that goes. But that's a lot nicer to have. Eagle Motion, hello to you. Yeah, the 4090 definitely heats up the room, yeah. No denying that. Nice. Also, what I have with me tonight is a lovely MCDU here, where I'm going to be typing stuff into the PMDG. Yeah, so Tremonia, for me, yeah, that's just the headset I've had. And the other one that has a cable connection, that is actually really heavy as well. And so I always found when I'm streaming like for 5 or 6 hours, then yeah, I don't know, it just seems my head and my neck muscles just really tense up. The headset I've got it's a JBL Bluetooth. So nothing really special. They were expensive. I think about 49 euros. Nothing, you know, I don't really care about extreme good sound quality. As long as I can hear everything, I'm fine. My hearing is messed up anyways, guys, so any headsets more than 50 euros is a complete waste of money with my ears. I should be used to wearing headphones. Oh, I know. You know what, Reynolds? The ones I have at work are actually absolutely terrible. They really give me a headache from time to time. Really bad. Right, let's get going. So ident, we've got a good database until 29th of December. Position it is done. So let's request a flight plan. And it should be here. There it is. Select. Requesting that. The MCDU is from Cockpit Simulator, it's called. Cockpit. It's a cockpit-simulator.com. I think it's a Chinese company. They made me a nice offer. I think about a year back or something. And the MCDU is good. Good quality. They also have some other stuff there, 737 FCU. And yeah, connecting very nicely. It works with the 737 PMDG. It works with the 747. Let me just see. MCDU. What else it works with? EFA CDU. That's so 737 CDU. And it works together with, yeah, so PMDG 737, 600, 700, 800 in Microsoft. P3D, it works with the 737 NGX. It works with the PMDG 747, the 777, and X-Plane, it works with the Zebo, Threshold Level Up, and the XTEC Classic. So that's quite a large number of aircraft that's supported. Right. Do you have a choice with the... No, so Paul flies. the annoying thing is we're not allowed to change headsets ourselves. And the explanation to that was that apparently if we use a personal headset, it's not actually approved by the German authorities. And so literally by changing the headset and plugging in your own headset, you actually already in an aircraft that's not certified. So if anything happens, if there's an accident and they found out you use your own headset, you could be in a very big trouble. So that's why I never changed anything in that regard. Cool. Quick overlook. Unfortunately, we don't have yet an EFB yet, so still missing that, unfortunately. But no worries. We have our trusted Sim Toolkit Pro here. And so the flight time is 1 hour 20 minutes. And if anybody wants to join, you can still do that. We're on the Microsoft Europe West server. So feel free. The routing is as follows. Should be !route. There you have it. So for those on YouTube, here it is. So that's the routing we're going to fly. And I'll talk about the approach in a few minutes. Let me just have a look at the briefing package here. So currently we have here in Anchorage light snow, 9 miles, scattered 3,000, overcast 5,500, minus 6 degrees. And in Juneau, we have no wind, which means the 08 approach is going to be possible. And the weather is good. Only few 100s. The rest is scattered 25,000, minus 8. So it should be nice, cold, clear weather there. Hey, Chris. No worries. But yeah, I was happy to hear that you are able to work at home, which is cool. That's really cool. Especially now with this weather going on. Zero fuel weight estimated at 52 tons, and the fuel is, with a bit of extra fuel, about 7.6 block fuel. So that is fine. Forecast for Juneau, sky clear, and maybe some light snow tomorrow, but today should be fine. Hey, Bob. Yeah, well, the good planning though, is lucky. That's all it was. Very lucky. Nothing else. Can it make sense to have headache? No, so Paul flies. I mean, they are going to get new headsets at some point. And so, yeah, it just takes a while to get everything sorted. Good. So I've just been hearing about the routing and the departure routes. So here at the moment it's 360 at 5, and if we look at the runway setup in Anchorage, it's gonna be this chart here. Where's my airplane symbol? Airplane symbol. Oh, do we need to have was it Sim Connect or something? Oh, Simlink, there we go. Let's try that again. So Simlink, parking gates, coordinates. Where's my aircraft position? Oh, there we go. Moving maps on. And north. Fantastic. Actually, track orientated. There we go. Alrighty. There we go. Zooming in. Yeah. All parked at the northern terminal. There we go. So that's the overlay now coming into view here. I'm going to hide that real quickly. There we go. So that's a nice depiction there. Wind from the north. So we could either take 4... No, sorry, 7... Is that 7 right? Yeah, 7 right. Or we take... we take 1 5. What else do we have? I'm just getting a feeling that we have quite a large variation here. Usually departing 3-3. Thank you, Bob. Thank you. Okay, so 3-3 normally. So let's have a look at the corner here. Doesn't say anything here. Let's have a look at the approach chart. Hey, is there no variation? Hey, Eternal, nice to see you. What? Hey, come on, surely there must be variation somewhere here. I'm not saying it's completely impossible to have that, but... Oh, there we go. 16 degrees east. So east is least, so we have 16 degrees less than true, so magnetic would be 16 degrees less. And so that means if the wind is written, so let's say 360, that means that the magnetic heading will be 16 less, so 344 degrees. Yeah, Paul, yeah, I know, right? So, cool new feature. And Lonely Producer, you recently discovered you and really like your videos. That's really kind. Thank you. Can you make a video series on the Phoenix A320 where you explain the whole flight through and without VATSIM if possible? Well, that would take quite some time to produce. So no promises when I'm able to do such a thing, but I was thinking about doing a video soon anyways. I'm not going to say about what, because interestingly enough, whenever I say I'm going to produce a video about something, there's someone, another live streamer, another real-world pilot, that suddenly comes out with exactly that video that I had proposed to make, and so. I've got to be careful here. I've got spies. Right. Anyways, what's the first joystick I had? It was a T16000, I think, or TM16000. Right. So, and then I got the Warthog joystick. Eternal, fantastic, yeah. Yeah, we've got some spots left over to join with. Fantastic. Alrighty, we were stuck at the departure. So if we take runway 33 for departure, it's behind us there. So we'll take 33. And regarding the routing, let's have a look. So we're going to Juliet Oscar Hotel. So that's there. What about the Anchorage departures? So I'll tell you what we'll do. Brennelt will do the Anchorage departure, I think. Yeah, we'll do the Anchorage departure. So the Anchorage 9. And that means takeoff 329 until 600 feet, then left 301 degrees, and then we go direct to Johnston Point, and then we go to I don't see the advantage of that, Brennelt, because that doesn't take us to that first VOR. Yeah, I'll go with the Anchorage departure. I mean, you could go and do something else. I'll go with the Anchorage departure. Direct to, yeah, Juliet Oscar Hotel, and then from there. So 4,000 initial altitude. And that's fine. Cool. So let's activate that. Departure arrival. So 3-3. And we'll take the Anchorage 9, execute. And so what I'll do, I'll leave that vectors, Juliet Oscar Hotel. And then we go all the way to the routing Sierra Sierra Romeo. And then we'll have a look for the approach. So Juneau. There's no stars. That we need the cold temperature restricted airport. We need that info. We need the airport info. And we need standard minimums info. And then the approach. So the only approach we really have. Yeah, Brenald, that's fine. Just go with the no and 4 then. That's fine, Brenald. You do whatever you think is correct. And then we'll meet up again on that airway from Juliet Oscar Hotel onwards. Right, so let's see. So the routing ends at Sierra Sierra Romeo. There, if there's traffic too close ahead, guys, just join the holding there. And let's say 6,000, the lowest holding altitude. And then whenever you've got enough spacing, go and join. Those that come behind the other aircraft always stack 1,000 feet higher. All right, and then wait until you have about, I would say, 10 miles because of that missed approach procedure. Good. Then we shoot the standard approach, meaning you can go to Linz, join the localizer, or the LDA, I should say, and then yeah, fly down to minimums, and you can see it's an offset approach. I have posted some infos regarding LDA approach. In case you're interested, it's on the Groupflight text. It's a bit further up. You need to scroll. Yeah, sorry, no, Groupflight briefing. So, do you prefer the Berks transition? No, because my routing ends at Sierra Sierra Romeo, Tremonia. So the routing that we've published, that ends at Sierra Sierra Romeo. There is no Berks transition in that. Yeah, so we're going to choose the LDA X-ray, and then execute, go to Lex page, and then you have Sierra Sierra Romeo, discontinuity, and then Linz. And so all I do is I put Linz into that open field, and that's it. And then if needed, I can put the holding in later. Right, so LD approach. We'll talk about it during the cruise flight, not now. Hey, Captain Chaos, hello. Yeah, Florian, but you don't have to. You don't have to choose the transition if you go straight onto the final. Lilo, hello to you. Yeah, so that's all you do. Cool. So init page. Then let's go and fuel up the aircraft. So, yeah, we're going to choose our FS Action tab. So payload. We said we want a payload of. So we have a zero fuel of 52 tons. So currently we're at 53. So 85%, 83%. There we go. 52 tons zero fuel weight. Perfect. And for the fuel, we wanted to have 7.6. So there we go. That's about half an hour extra. Excellent. So 7.6. Cool. Nice. That means I can go in it again. Just double click zero fuel weight. Hey Jeremiah. And forward. Good evening. No, we are not. We are at Anchorage. So, guys, there's no need to stack up on top of each other. You've got 4 more parking spots available. I know you want to keep cozy and warm, but trust me, there's enough room. Oh, by the way, what about this livery, eh? Look at that. How cool. I wish Arthur Bico was here. Because that's especially for Arthur Bico. He loves these liveries. That color is his favorite.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box YouTube channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
The final reserve fuel. Or sorry, not the final, but the reserve fuel. Hey, Krypton, thank you so much. Oh, at the moment, it is a bit strange. I am not getting any definite answer from my fleet captains, and they are being somewhat secretive about things. So apparently it seems to me like they just do not have enough instructors available at the moment. And so currently, actually, I still have a option going onto the 787 777. So I'm positive next year sometime I'll transition. It's just no definite news yet. Krypton, thank you so much for the 10 months on YouTube. I hope you're doing well. They have to fix those white tarmacs. Yeah, I know. But there is an add-on that at least gives you some... Well, some taxi lines, yeah. At least that. Oh, there we go. Look, they've moved. Fantastic. Hey, Pilot Wizard, how are you doing? So, thank you to all those that joined today for the group flight. It's going to be interesting. It's a lovely flight, interesting approach, and the scenery, of course, is absolutely incredible. We are planning level 350. The cruise wind is 330 at 35, roundabout. And anything else we need to do? Alrighty. So 4,000 was the first altitude. That goes in there. 4,000 is set. Let's start the APU. Window heat should go on, otherwise the window's going to ice up at some point. 350. And the landing altitude is 25 feet, so pretty much 50 feet, that's fine. Good, good, good. Nav lights are on. Here comes the APU. Oh yes, pilot was, that was actually, yeah, you're right. That was the first 787 long haul flight in Newark. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, said the Florence. Yeah. So 787 and the 777X is a joint rating. Yeah. Nicolas, unless they are very similar, like the 787 and 777, or the, let's say, the 330, 340. If those are similar, then yes, you can be rated on two different. But you can't be rated on, well, you wouldn't be rated on a 737 and an A320, for example, at the same time. So the altimeter is 3008, it seems. Right, let's put the... Oh, de-icing. Well, that's actually a good idea. I mean, it is snowing. So not the worst idea to have. Right, one more thing to do, guys. I would say that we have a contaminated runway. So it's not clear, it's not wet, it's contaminated. Which means that we have to go toga power. So, although we can do, what we can do though is take a, so no flex, but we can do a D rate, I think. So 10% D rate, I think that's allowed. So we'll do that. And then we go flaps 5. Trim should be 5.56. You'll get a broom. That will take a while. So about 5.5. And we'll take those speeds as given to us here. So 135 V2. And the heading for takeoff for our departure route. Um, 329. Yes, I'm going to set the course here as well, 329. And then because we're doing the Anchorage 9 departure, so we want Anchorage, Tango Echo Delta, and Juliet Oscar Hotel tuned. So we'll do that here on there. That's 1315 and 16.7. And there I'm going to estimate the course line, which will be about probably east. Already iced? No, not yet. So let's see. GSX. Request. Let's close all the doors. So, actually, doors. There we go. Close, close. Right, ground services. We can get rid of the ground power. And let's set the parking brake. Parking brake set. Chocks removed. All right. But how do we start? Hang on, do we have push? Do we have de-icing here? Oh, we don't have that, do we? Yeah, but I don't want to use GSX today for pushback because I'm pretty fed up with GSX pushback. I'm not going to do that. I actually have something else today, which I want to try. All right, then we simulate that we've already had de-icing treatment. Yeah, exactly, Krypton. So 320 and 330 is definitely a common rating you can have, yeah. So let's put that on. And let's read a cockpit preparation checklist. Hold on. Here we go. Right, oxygen. Oxygen, test at 100%. Navigation, transfer switches, normal auto, window heat is on. Pressurization mode selector is in auto. Flight instruments, we've got heading 101. And the altimeter 3008 at 120 feet. Parking brake set. Engine start levers cut off. And that's the pre-flight checklist completed. We'll check the door is closed. Fantastic. So before start to the line, fuel 7,600 kilograms. Pumps on. Passenger signs on. V2 heading altitude. V2 135 heading 329. Altitude 4,000. Takeoff speeds. V1 126 VR 128 and V2 is 135, and that'll be D-rate DTO1. CDU pre-flight completed. Rudder aileron trim 3 and 0. Takeoff taxi briefing. Well, the taxi briefing is as follows. So we'll push back. Heading or facing to the west. Although I'll check in a minute where we're going to push back to. And then taxi probably Mike or otherwise Golf 1 and Lima for runway 33. Hey Squawk 97, how you doing? Psychometric tests are. Could you guys give me a nice idea? Well, I mean, the tests are hard, yes. They're supposed to be hard. Because the idea is that they're trying to find out if you're actually capable of becoming a pilot. So there's no point in cheating. There's no point in preparing, more than usual. Because otherwise, imagine that you're going to invest a lot of money, and then you find out that you may not have the abilities to become a pilot, and then you've invested all that money, and then you fail at some point the training. Flight deck to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We will be ready shortly.
Roger.
Hey Andreas, how you doing? Alright, there he is. That's Tremonia. So, one Reynolds. Oh, hang on, I need to change something in the settings, hold on. Audio. So there we go. Hello, hello.
Hello, evening.
Good evening.
Good. Hey, and Eternal, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, good. So where's my pushback truck? Lol.
You don't like GSX pushback, you said?
No, I've had so many issues with GSX.
Maybe I can talk to you tomorrow, so I can give you some tricks to make the GSX pushback better.
Well, the issue I have with is the pre-planning. So I can pre-plan, I press enter, and then it just stops working. Yeah, essentially as as well, we tried so many things, including reinstallation, exclusions, and antivirus, and firewall, and update with a manual offline updater. I've tried so many things, and it's just not working.
I think you don't need all the time the manual plan pushback. Simply enter left or right, and it automatically pushes you to the taxi line.
Well, if that would
Works
always
very
work,
nice.
that would be great. But then that comes the point. I sit there and think, okay, hang on, nose left, right. Which way is nose? You know, is it from pilot's view or is it from outside view? Is it from the pushback truck view? So to me, that's
view.
not. Yeah. So that's why I always get. And then you press the wrong direction. That's it. You can't stop, and you have to restart. That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So
You need to have 1 second thinking about it, and it works.
yeah.
It's
Well,
from the
if I'm
pilot's
streaming-
view when you're sitting in the cockpit, left or right. I think it's easy. It all the time works for me.
Flight deck to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We will be ready shortly.
Roger.
How can you talk to the ground black box?
It's called. It's from FS2 Crew. It's called Pushback something. Just wondering if I need to have PMDG. Ah, there we go. We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Roger. Release the parking brakes, please.
Brakes released.
Pushing back.
Oh, hang on. But I have chocks removed, haven't I? Yeah, chocks removed. This is all such a joke. It really is.
Cockpit to ground.
I still think the best pushback add-on is the ambitious toolbar, or how it's called.
Well, you install
Simple
that.
and it look-
Yeah, you install that, and you go into Phoenix, and it tells you,
Yeah, true.
yeah,
Brakes
the
released.
Phoenix can crash on landing because of that two-back pushback. And it's like, you know, seriously, guys, like, is there anything a universal pushback means that would work? You know, is it just too much to ask for? So apparently it is. But hey, I mean, Microsoft Flight Sim is becoming so realistic, isn't it? So there we go, packs are off. Then we have checklist. Let's check something here. Below the line, flight deck door closed and locked. Doors all closed. Anti-glitch light is on. And that's the before start. Oh, that was a quick one. Parking brake set. Flies, I know, right? Alright, let's do engine start here.
Alright, steering pin is disconnected. Watch for the slip.
Start valve is open.
On your left. Have a good flight.
Still good pressure. So, N2 rotation. We can already see some N1 rotation there. 23% about adding fuel. Tremoni, have a good flight. And Vaccaro, hello to you, Alexander. Yeah, Alexander, I'm surprised. This afternoon I tried that FS2 crew pushback with the PMDG. Worked very nice. So you can use rudder control, for example, for the pushback, and the aileron to determine the speed of pushback, and you can do a pull forward as well if you like. But there we go. Now in the stream, it's not working, which I find quite a meme actually in the meantime. So. Here comes the fuel. EGT is rising, fuel flow indicating, and the N1 is rising as well. Tremoni, did you break out of the clouds? If yes, at what altitude? Because I do expect some nice weather above. Oh, hi. Alrighty, so after start flows, we're going to delay the flight extension until we get closer to the runway. So we'll just do the rest of the items first of all. And so we're going to delay the flight control check as well. So AQ beat off, normal, auto. That's done. That goes off. Recall check, and again the rest we'll do later. So leave that open as a reminder. And off we go. Okay, Tremonia, nice. Yeah. Okay, so hang on, there's settings somewhere regarding setup options simulation. So tiller rudder, there we go. Yes, I did, Bob. Yes, trust me. With Senshai, I went through everything. Hello, where's my steering? Come on. That's the 4092 Miracles. Well, it's good with the frame generation. Guys, what am I missing regarding nozzle steering?
To
Found
start the
something
engines
in
to
menu.
request ground services.
PMDG setups. I think I found something. If you go to menu, PMDG setup options. Second. I think it was simulation, and then the 7th page. 7th page, I think, simulation.
Yeah.
And then there's something, but I don't know if that's what you're searching.
Yeah, so I had rudder only, or I've tried both, rudder only and tiller and rudder, so...
I have rudder only and it works for me.
Okay, so I'll try rudder only. Yeah, the tiller is showing as deflected, but I bet
maybe the pushback did it.
Let's just try something. Let me get rid of Quattro. And let's try.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Duo Channel experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served. Thank you.
Sim Caesar, thank you so much. Wow, gifting another sub on the channel to Flies 787. Sim Caesar, thank you so much. Ricardo, what's happened to me with the fly-by-wire? The bypass pin remained inserted. Okay, so which one? The problem is which bypass pin? Where? GSX or PMDG bypass pin? You know, like what is causing it? I'm literally not knowing what's going on here. Right, you know, I'm going to deinstall GSX completely. Seriously, I've had actually enough of it. What a waste of money getting GSX.
You need to stop the engines to request ground services.
And this is another joke. Why do I have to stop the engines to start GSX? Yeah, I have restarted. Yeah, Bob, rudder's working. I can see the tiller working as well. So I just had, when I was steering, it worked as well. Yeah, guys, I'll deinstall it after the stream today. That's the last time you'll see GSX in my menu here.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by until push is completed and brakes are set. Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback. Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Hey Megas, good evening. Yeah, that's it. Like, GSX is out. I've had enough. This is just costing me so much time and effort and nerves. I'm at.
Locking gear.
Welcome aboard the Captain Blackbox Twitch channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class
Release
cabin,
parking brake.
where complimentary drinks, snacks,
Commencing
and
push.
premium flight entertainment
Due to
will be
icing
served.
conditions, please
Thank
stand
you.
by until push is completed and brakes are set.
Good evening and moin smile.
Henrik Moin. Hope you're doing well, Henrik. Thank you so much for the 26 months here on Twitch. So let's check everything's clear behind. Fantastic. So that's all still available. Let's put that back in here. LNAV, VNAV armed. The rest should be the same. Right, I'm going to start the engines. Let's put that one as well. There we go. So. Florian? Well, you need a simulator, Florian. If you have Microsoft Flight Sim, for example, you don't need to have any special add-on, so the normal standard scenery add-ons is fine.
parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
No, Florian, no.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good
Anyone
engine
is
start.
invited
You
to
can
join.
disconnect.
Right, start valve is closed, starting engine 1.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
So hopefully that
Left is clear. Right is clear.
will mean that we can steer the aircraft. Keep your fingers crossed. Eternal. Well, as long as you can steer the aircraft, I think you should be fine.
Yeah, I haven't tried yet.
Okay, let me see if I can... Hopefully that has fixed the issue now. Right, like I said, the rest we'll do at the... Your damper on. The rest we'll do as we taxi out. Right. Nope, has not fixed the issue. Guys, seriously, like, what is it that I'm doing wrong? Let me find control options. Maybe there is a binding somewhere. That's interfering. So nose with steering axis. Nothing mapped there. Let's have a look here. Quadrant is nothing mapped. Yoke is nothing mapped. Look guys, see this? So the tiller is moving. I just don't know why the nose wheel steering isn't moving.
Did you quit GSX while the pushback pin was inserted?
I don't know. Guys,
Because
I'm just
I
gonna
had that problem.
Yeah, guys, I'm just gonna deinstall GSX right now, and then we'll spawn with engines running. I'll quickly program the routing, and then we're good to go. Right, GSX is out, guys.
Maybe it had to do with the PMDG pushback you activated. Maybe
No.
this one blocked your steering.
I don't care anymore. Seriously, I'm just gonna deinstall GSX. That's it. I don't care who's at fault, why. It's just GSX is causing so many issues in this simulator. Right, best deinstall it through the updater, right? The FSD installer, yeah. Uninstall, yes please. Thank you very much. Right, deinstalled. Let's just... Hey FC Karus, how you doing? Oh, hang on, hold on. And also, add-on linker, I will try to remember for the better pushback toolbar. So the second stream when I'm doing the Phoenix, that I deinstall that there. Or deactivate it through the add-on mapper. Hey, you're coding. I mean, we didn't just have issues with pushback, guys. There was just so much stuff going on in GSX.
I avoid using it too most of the time. It's clunky.
Andreas, you had the same issue in Anchorage with the Phoenix server. Well, I mean, if the nose wheel was turning and the aircraft, would still go straight ahead, then it's something with the maybe ground friction or something. But you saw the tiller in the cockpit was moving, but outside it wasn't. So something in the background, and I think it's GSX, was preventing the nose wheel from moving. And it could happen, for example, when you have the bypass pin still inserted for whatever reason in the background. That would be an option. Oh yeah, the internet disconnect, that was getting better though. So I do apologize if there's somebody on the runway, guys. I will taxi off, I promise. But I'm just going to go with engines running. Let me go here, though, and then I'll be in nobody's way. But I just want to see if the nose wheel steering works now. And also, the funny thing is, I mean, about half an hour before the stream, I did a quick pattern in Anchorage to see if the nose or the control sensitivity was fine. And it was all working. It was all fine. It was all good. So let's have a look. So, let's go. So the engines are running. That's fine. Let's go menu. Options. Simulation. Rudder and tiller. So hang on. Well, it's working, but it's not doing that full. Oh, hang on. Maybe now it is. Ah, there we go. Alright, that worked. Oh. Yeah, it's working now. I restarted the sim. I deinstalled GSX. And now it's rudder only for the hardware option. That's it. So that is working. So I'm just going to upload the plan again to have something in the MCDU. And we'll hold short 3-3. So Moritz, you can go and take off if you like. So, quickly. Mark is... The only thing I'm really annoyed about is the fact I didn't throw at GSX much sooner. I've actually wasted so much time trying to get this fixed when there is nothing to fix because GSX is just broken. So that's Alpha Sierra Alpha, correct? That's the flight plan, departure arrival, 33, pitch 9, and we're going 4,000 feet. So that was the 4,000 feet. We want 13.5. And we want 16.7. There we'll set 329. Nice. Sounds good, Tremonia. Enjoy. There was a question regarding Christmas stream. Yes, there will be a Christmas stream. But this year there will be no hardware prizes like we had in the previous years. We're going to be doing vouchers. But unfortunately this year I'm not able to do anything regarding hardware prizes. Yeah, it's Christmas. Yeah, I know. Right, 7.5 then we'll do for the fuel. Payload was about 84% or something. Perfect. So we'll do 2.9. 22, zero fuel weight, 350. Execute. I'm not sure about the wind. We'll update the wind later in flight. We'll do takeoff 1 and flaps 5. CG. Speeds 35. It's off. That on. Like that. Strobes are on. The rest looks good. Flaps are 5. VNAV. Hang on. Flight directors, that's what's missing. Flight directors on. Thank you much. Yep. I've got that as well. So, before taxi checkers, generators were on. Probe heat on. Anti-ice, engine anti-ice on. Isolation valve switch auto. Engine start switches, continuous recall is checked. Auto brake, RTO, engine start levers, idle attempt. Flight controls, let's check the flight controls just to make sure we have everything we need. Left, right, and the rudder is working. Hooray. Flaps are 5, indicating 5. So before takeoff, flaps are 5, green light. Stabilizer trim should be 5.5 units. And set. And that's the before takeoff checklist completed. So we'll wait for the TBM to depart. And then we'll follow. VORs are good. I'm going to put 090 again in here. Transponder, yes sir. Transponder goes to TARA now. And we'll have terrain and traffic. Right, I'm not sure if he's with us. The name doesn't tell me anything. It could be someone trying to meme, I'm not sure. So I'll just probably ignore him. Right, then we go elapse time. Did you just press B? Yes, of course. What else? Let's take off. And 1. Thrust set. 8 knots checked.
V1, rotate. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Right, LNAV, VNAV speed, 600 feet, and we'll go left. Yeah, I don't know why that's disconnected again. Climb power set. Brennan, what time did you fly? Well, I've got 10 in the morning, that should be fine. Flaps 1, speed check. Flaps 1. Gear lever to neutral, auto brake off. Here comes 4000, FMC speed, VNAV out. Alaska milk run. Nice. Sounds good. Flaps up. Speed check. Flaps up. And autopilot in command. Good, let's go. Let's go. Let's like 150, and we're going to do this with level change. So we've got N1, MCP speed, and we're going to go present position direct to Charlie, Juliet Oscar Hotel. Now we'll go back to VNAV. Yeah, delivery, right? I love that. Cool one. Right, off we go. I'm just going to use wing anti-ice for a few minutes. And so that way, just going to make sure that should we have any ice on the front of the wings, on the slats, that will be blown off. I wonder how much more expensive these rather detailed liveries are for the company. It's a good question. Good question. But I think it's well worth it. Because that can actually mean more revenue. Because it's a livery people talk about, or maybe it's shown on certain networks. So I think it can be very useful. I'm going to try 350. So we're passing 10,000 feet. That goes off. Wing anti-ice off for now. Engine anti-ice I'll leave on. It's still going to be entering some clouds. And the seat belts, I'm going to wait until we get out of the clouds. So that's set. Fixed page, I'll put in Papa Alpha Juliet November. And so that's about 500 miles. That's Ramoni. Yeah, I finished casting last weekend, so I did 1 week exactly. Yeah, and it felt very good. Ah, beautiful. Where's my big view? Is it under showcase? Oh yeah, there we go. That's a nice one. Beautiful, beautiful. Right, I think we can switch off the engine anti-ice. That means the start switches can go off and the seatbelts auto. After takeoff checklist, engine bleeds are on. Pressure's looking good. So landing gear up and off, flaps up, lights out. PECs are in auto. Fantastic. It flies, yeah, all good. I think I'll be much happier now with that GSX, so. Standard, set, cross-check. Perfect. And Zunik, how are you doing? Ricardo, I am not so sure because I've never done ETOPS. So I was always flying, you know, it was either the 747, which didn't have ETOPS, and in the neither the 737 nor the A320 did I have the ETOPS stuff. But to be fair, or to be honest, I don't think that the APU needs to be running all the time, passing the ETOPS entry point. I would say, Ricardo, I mean, I know what you mean. You're probably thinking, well, you know, how would you know that the APU is actually working? But I've not heard anything about that. Tremonia, you're already almost in top descent. Yeah, unfortunately I wasted so much time with the pushback there. Again, thanks GSX. Cool. But since people are already starting the approach, let me give you a quick rundown regarding the LDA approach. Now, LDA, it's not, you know, it's nothing black magic or anything really, you know, too complicated. So the LDA stands for Localizer Directional Aid Approach, LDA. So Localizer, I'm just dim the sim sounds down just a tad so that I don't have to shout that much. So it's very similar to localizer approaches. So an LDA is usually in places where terrain or other factors, no Christmas card, no, definitely not, that prevents the localizer antenna from being aligned with the runway. So for today, just as an example, flying the LDE approach here in Juneau, you can see that if they would put the localizer directly in the direction of the runway, you would have terrain very close to the airfield. We'll see that later when we land. Because I think further out, that mountain shouldn't really be an issue. I think it's more this terrain here probably and short final. So there's a hill there, and I think that's what's causing the issues with the localizer. And we know that normally the localizer antenna would be on the opposite side of the landing runway. So the antenna would be here for the approach to runway 08. And you can see here the antenna is actually located somewhere else. So it's located ahead of the runway and offset. And the localizer will be pretty normal. So pretty much the same technology, but it's offset. So you have a straight line from a descent point. In this case, Barlow, for example, with the final descent, 3.7 degrees. But it's offset by a whopping, I think I put 14 degrees or something. Oops. So that way, obstacle clearance can't be assured if it's like in this case, if it would be straight in runway 08, then the obstacle clearance can't be assured, and so that's why the antenna and the beam is offset by a couple of degrees. The LDA uses the same equipment as a standard localizer, and this usually results in an LDA course width being very similar, although it may differ based on terrain and obstacle considerations. Yeah, Tron, yeah, exactly. Now, even though the LDA isn't exactly aligned with the runway, straight-in minimums can be published when course alignment doesn't exceed 30 degrees between the localizer and the runway. If it's more than 30 degrees, you will normally just have a circling minimum published. So today, for example, it says straight-in landing 08, even though it's still offset by 14 degrees. However, here the minimum is actually very high. So it has to do with terrain situation, it has to do with time you need for lining, and so on. So they decided that here in Juneau, 08 X-ray, that's 3,200 feet. If it were more than 30 degrees, it'd only have a circling minimum, right? That's the difference there. Something like the checkerboard in... yeah, I'm not sure how many degrees offset that is in with the Kai Tak airport, but that's definitely a lot. Yeah, cool. Let's have a look for the RMP approach. So the RMP is also offset. However, you can see that the programming takes the aircraft well clear of any obstacles, and there you have a minimum a lot lower depending on the missed approach gradient that you can do. And that actually takes you left instead of the other direction. So that would be one thing. I mean, the normal missed approach, any go around after passing, oh sorry, the normal missed approach will go as immediate right turn to 5,600 feet, heading 310 degrees, and then you would go outbound again from the Charlie Golf Lima NDB, 251 bearing, so opposite to the inbound. And then intercept the Sierra Romeo UR 027 directly back to Sister Island, which pretty much from Barlow then. And you would climb all in all 5,600 feet. So that would be the normal missed approach. Now it says, caution, any go around after passing missed approach point will not provide standard obstruction clearance. Right, we're coming up 350. So use the localizer DNE when on LDA course, so back again. Now there's some more restrictions. So the missed approach, if it goes after the missed approach points, if you like, you know, somewhere onshore approach and you need to go around, it's a visual go around. So you have to visually climb in a very steep manner, avoid any obstacles, and then return back on the normal missed approach path there. There's another thing that's very important. So circling to runway 26 is not authorized at night, and also cold temperature altitude correction required at or below 0 degrees Celsius. So let's have a look what it is at the moment. It's -7, so we have to do that cold temperature correction. We'll get to that in a minute. So, one more thing to note is flying challenges. So, depending on the amount of offset, a good mental preparation is necessary so that you're not surprised and disorientated when you're breaking out of the clouds close to dim descent altitude. So try to have a mental picture where you can expect the runway and what it will look like. No, oh yeah, so Andreas, sometimes these approaches have a glide slope indication, yes. And I think, for example, in Innsbruck, you have that. And operators will sometimes allow you to actually use that glide slope. So I remember that we had a discussion there, and EasyJet, for example, is allowing their pilots to use full approach mode, so including the glide slope, but only from a certain distance inward. So let's say 10 miles towards the missed approach point. So my company doesn't allow that, so we have to just use localizer and either flight path angle or vertical speed. But again, it's all about company procedures in that case. But yeah, sometimes you do have a indication regarding glide slope. Yeah, that can happen with LD approaches. Why do some companies allow it and some don't? Well, every company has their safety staff and they're professionals, and they will evaluate something for every airport. And if they, if they say that the glide slope is stable enough and so on, yeah, they may approve using the glide slope, and some other companies may not. I don't think you can actually enter a MDA a flight path angle here. What you can do is you can have the flight path indication showing up on the prime flight display. So you would then use vertical speed, but you would have to check your flight path angle with the indicator. What add-on are you using for the co-pilot? Well, here I don't, but in the Phoenix I have, it's called FS2 Crew. But currently there isn't a profile available for the 737. What's the largest runway heading deviations you know of? Regarding LDA approaches or offset approaches? I don't know. Good question. I've not come across anything more than 15 degrees, I would say, ever in my time. So I think the largest ones I would have maybe 4 or 5 degrees. And that's actually a lot. So we'd be surprised how much 5 degrees actually is offset from a runway. No, it's not, Alexander. It's I don't think it has any major performance hit. No. Oh yeah. So if you press, yeah.
The RNAV approach has a much lower minimum than the LDA approach I saw.
Yeah. Coupled with that, Brendan, would be a certain accuracy you need. So 0.3 miles is normally what you need, which then means that you have a lot less obstacles to consider compared to the localizer, because we know that the localizer opens up as further out you go, while the RNAV approach in this case is a linear approach. So 0.3 miles left and right from the beginning of the final descent point to the missed approach point. So I'm just checking the requirements. Yeah, 0.3 it is. So imagine a parallel line, left and right of track, total width being 0.3 nautical miles, and only those obstacles within that little rectangular area would have to be considered. While here, as it opens up, that beam, it's wider and means it just, with the indications that you have left and right, the possible deviations from the center line you have, there's just more obstacles you have to take into account. That usually leaves a higher minimum.
Okay.
Why it's that much, I don't know. I find that excessive as well. I agree with that. But that's the only reason I can think of at the moment.
Yeah, maybe the localizer is not that reliable.
Yeah, could be.
And 3.7 degrees, not that less for an Airbus or 737, right?
No, that's quite a steep profile, yeah. Another, I mean, that's a good point, Brian. So that's something mentally you have to prepare for as well, correct? So, so that's 20% more, or even more than 20. Let's say 25% almost more than normal. So let's say wind calm, 140 knots approach speed, so 150 knots ground speed. So normally you would have 750 feet per minute. And now with the 3.7 degrees, you have to add, well, I guess another 200 feet per minute just to stay on the profile.
Yeah, you should be fully configured before Barlow.
Yeah. And then, you know, mentally be prepared to continue on a between 900 feet per minute descent to stay on that path.
Yeah.
Mighty Morpher, would a real-world pilot be nervous for this type of landing? No. No. I think pilots become nervous when you have conditions which are not predictable. So I can tell you that I don't get nervous with challenging approaches, again, because I prepare and I have my game plan, and I know that if anything doesn't go as planned, I can go around and then learn from what I've just made, you know, mistakes I've just made, and then do a second approach that should be more successful. The things that would get me nervous is something where I have weather conditions. So let's say thunderstorms around the field with, you know, wind shear potential. That gets me kind of anxious. I wouldn't say nervous in that sense, but anxious, where I would be extremely focused and, you know, trying to, you know, have options available all the time. So I'd always go through my mind, you know, if this happens, I'll do that. If that happens, I'll do that, and just be more on a kind of a jump to do something. Wow, so Romeo Juliet Tango Tango LDA has an offset of 47 degrees. Do you have the Krypton? Do you have the chart available for that? Well, let me see if I can find it real quickly, because I'm just curious to see what it gives as a minimum. That's Tokyo Haneda, and that's the LB. Which runway is that? Is that 22? Okay, so interesting enough, that only gives you, it doesn't say straight in minimum or anything like that, it just gives you a minimum ascent altitude, that's all. Oh, I remember that one. Yeah, we did that on a group flight, I think. Yeah. Yeah. And from there, it's just visual to the runway. Yeah. Yeah, but there we go. It has many different variations, but the important thing about an LDE approach is just simply you have a localizer beam available, just like here. You have a localizer beam. And it even gives you a localizer course offset 55 degrees. That's a nice info to have as well. But that part from Bondo final descent point to the minimum, that is literally a localizer approach where you have a localizer indication on your primary flight display. You would use vertical speed, or if A320 you have flight path angle. You would descend to your minimum, and then from the minimum or the missed approach point, with that circling being shown, you would have to judge visually when to start your final descent to the runway, and so on. But normally you would have the partly lights inside. That would help you. Otherwise, always a good thing to do is have a distance, a reference distance available. So here, for example, we could put that in to the center of the airport. Just be aware that, yeah, you have about a mile usually that you have to subtract from your remaining distance to the threshold. But yeah, still, it gives you some nice indication whereabouts you should be regarding altitude. Anything else I had for the chart? So yeah, high terrain. Yeah, we talked about the cold temperature correction. We'll do that in a minute. High minimum, offset 14 degrees. So, talking about
when you have a look into the CDU black box, you can see after before the runway, you can see programmed a glide path of 3.63 degrees. Does it mean you can use a kind of final approach mode?
No, just enter the approach here. So let's. Well, I mean, the thing is this. So, I mean, that's a reference. So it's a programmed path. You may have a indication on your primary flight display, or sorry, the nav display, regarding high or low in the path. So that's an information you can take. However, there is no means to navigate by that, in the sense you can couple that info to an autoflight mode. That would not be allowed. The same goes for the RNP, or yeah, it's an RNP approach. No, actually it's an RNF approach. So if you look at the minimums, it just gives you an LNAV minimum, a lateral navigation path minimum. It doesn't give you LNAV VNAV, and that's an indication that normally you would not be allowed to use the vertical mode for an autopilot, as an autopilot mode. That means you have to use vertical speed or flight path angle. Oh yeah, so I was just about to talk about the display. So when you press twice here, you have your vertical profile. So on the bottom you would have, for example, indications regarding obstacle clearance, and those blue lines here, left and right of your track, that shows you, I think, the obstacles taken into account on that vertical profile indication there. So when you start your descent, that little line will actually point down, and that gives you a prediction at what altitude you will be in, I don't know how many minutes. But that's also a nice, visual representation, because I think you'll get your waypoints indicated here later, and then you can kind of plan your descent that way, which is nice. I'm gonna get rid of that dial here. Yes. So let's do a fuel check. Next waypoint coming up is Yankee Alpha Kilo. So that should be 46 minutes after departure. We departed at 50. Sorry, no, 10 past. So 19:10 is when we departed. And so we're supposed to pass there at 56. I'm supposed to have 3.6 plus 1.2, so 4.8 tons is what we're supposed to have here remaining. So we'll see how accurate that is. Contrails look fine. Let's have a look. Let's go. Oh, look at that beautiful view here. Man. Contrails. Lol. So, no ice, no snow. Snow ice, sorry. Yeah, that view is amazing. Yeah, we're lucky with the weather today. Oh, really, Viper? Okay, that's weird. Is there any other add-on that you have that may conflict? Oh, Brennald, I was going to ask you, have you heard about the Vision Jet in Microsoft Flight Sim?
You mean the new add-on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some live streaming at Fabio's. He is very hyped about that thing. But I don't like the view of this aircraft. It's so small, so short. It's not an interesting view for me.
Yeah. So it would be more interesting regarding systems or system integration with Navigraph charts. How you can use it at certain airports. So yeah, it's a special aircraft.
Avionic model.
Well, I've only bought this today. I just had a quick look at it. I've not flown it, but I think system-wise, I think it has quite some nice things to offer. But I'm pretty sure hand flying wise, it'll be the standard Microsoft model. So nothing really,
I think you have limited options to model a different flight model in the simulator, because you have to stick to the flight model a simulator offers.
Yeah. And we know that obviously inertia is still not being modeled correctly and so on. We know that as long as a server doesn't fix that. Yeah, so things like sound, obviously they can alter textures, they can alter system simulation in the sense of avionics and so on. They can do that as well to a certain degree. So that's all fine. It's just, I guess some people are then disappointed that it's you kind of that same kind of jerkiness when you're flying it manually. Where's that switch? Where did you find that switch? I think, do you also mean 737 or which aircraft do you mean? Ah, that. Yeah, so I would assume, now I'm not 100% sure, but I would assume it's the same as on the A320. Although the A320 doesn't really, well, it has a noticeable steering anti-skid switch you can turn off to force the yellow system on. But I would say that whatever the normal system is, let's say system A is the normal system for nose steering, you can switch it to the B system. Or the other way around. So Baby Boeing says, yeah, B to A, yeah. And the fuel consumption is bang on, fantastic. Hey Blanche, how you doing?
Have you heard about the version 2 of the Phoenix coming out next time? What is the difference? What are they making new?
I've not heard anything in that regard. I think it's the engine model they're working on, no?
Yeah, I think they make the IAE engines, but I don't know what else. They say it's the version 2.
Well, I know that they are working on their own engine model, which will finally fix the wonky fuel flow, for example, or the strange power settings sometimes, which is great. I mean, if they manage that, that's going to be fantastic. Which could also mean, some very specific behavior, especially when you have the IE engines come out afterwards, where you have just a different feel, because the IE engines are normally, a bit more powerful compared to the CFM engines.
But I hear they are depending on the ProSim simulator, and I don't know how they can modify the flight models what the ProSim gives.
Okay. Yeah, but anyhow, it is complicated for them to do, which is, again, it's a shame, but that just seems to be the problem right now with Microsoft. And that's why, as much as I like to fly in Microsoft Flight Sim for the visuals, always fantastic to see that. There's just obviously so much still that needs to be done for me to really get excited about Microsoft Flight Sim. And anyone, especially real-world pilots, coming in and saying, "Oh, this is so much almost like real." I wonder in what regard are they referring that to, because I can name so many things that are definitely not like the real aircraft or like real flying in Microsoft Flight Sim, that I just don't know how they get to that, that assumption or that view. So is that yes, I do have that, Bob. Yeah. Yeah, and I know that it's still ongoing process regarding development and so on. I'm aware of all that, but again, at least everyone should be so honest in saying that. Yeah, it's still got a long way to go until you can really say it's it's a true to life simulator.
Blackhawks, can I recommend you to switch to 16:30 local time for a minute? Because it's beautiful.
16:30. The sun. Well, 16:30 local.
Oh, why is that so different to me?
So 6th of December.
For me, it is the sunset, but it's not that dark like in your view, and you still have PM and AM there. It's 0017 UTC.
Sorry, UTC what? What time UTC?
0 hours 17 minutes UTC.
So around about there.
Yeah, it's about that, yes. It's a difference to me, but I don't know why. But it looks like that.
Do you check the manual, normal nose wheel steering system A, auto B? Okay, cool. Yeah, I know. Don't worry about it. I know. It can get confusing. If I do real time, I'll do real time. Okay. But I have to now look at the time again. So we departed at 20. No, so 18 then. Okay. No, 22. So 1922 we departed. And then we're going to be at Yankee Alpha Kilo at 08 2008. There we go. Hey, Carbon Bell, how are you doing? Greetings to Nova Scotia. What's the weather like? HDR stream when? Hang on, is that possible even? This livery just goes so well with the surroundings. The white background. Oh, is the flag the wrong way around? Okay. GG. Plus 2 degrees and sunny. Nice. Nice. Here it's 3 degrees raining. In Forbes they are reporting pitch oscillations and climb descent. Haven't noticed that yet. We'll monitor that during the descent then. Let's have a look at the landing distance available, and I was going to go and have a look at the temperature correction as well. So let's have a look at the So, 2,700 meters. And the landing, yeah, so 2,700 should be correct. That is actually all right, not too bad. And so, considerations, backtrack. Yeah, all right, let's see if we can get off by Foxtrot. So I'm going to go with auto brakes 3. Orbit 3 should be good value. Right, 80 miles to our top drop. So that's coming in quite nicely as well. Viper, but not in real life, is it? Jesus. Hey, nice, Tremonia. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm also looking forward to the views.
Welcome aboard the Captain Blackbox Duo Channel experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served. Thank you.
Mark, thank you so much again, gifting a sub to Baby Boeing. Mark, thank you so much for your support. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, it's true. Hey, 777, how you doing? Wow, a beautiful sunset there. Blanche. Nice, beautiful. Tromsø. Wow. They even got permission to fly over Tromsø. Gorgeous. Look at that sunset. Wow. Just to note, the time is 10 past and the fuel is 5 tons. 10 past, 5 tons. So we've got 200 kilograms more than required. And we lost 2 minutes. And the landing was butter, my god. A bit of speed brakes coming out. Stealthy speed brakes. Reynolds, when are you landing?
In 10 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Or a bit more. 18,000, passing 18,000 right now.
Nice.
Can you talk about the temperature correction, please?
So if you go to that table, I just put the video on the other side, and yeah, so the table. So you have to apply a cold temperature correction to all important altitudes, like the minimum sector altitude, the initial approach altitude, final ascent point, and the minimums. So the minimums, and it's always the height that's important. So it's about 3,000 feet height. And we have about minus, so reported temperature -8, I think it was like, so almost -10. So then you go to 3,000 feet, you have to add 290, let's say 270 feet to your minimum. right? Because the altimeter will be indicating that amount in the wrong manner. So if it's indicating, let's say, 3,000 feet, your true altitude would actually be like 2,710. So you actually be lower than what the altimeter actually indicates, and that is due to the cold temperature. So you have to add about 300 feet to make sure that you have your safe obstacle clearance. So your descent altitude, if you want to start at 8 miles, would be correct if you start that at about 400 feet higher than what's published. So if you start at, let's say, 4,100 feet at 8 miles, then assuming Microsoft simulates that effect, which I don't think it does, then you would have the right altitude. So you would start 4,100 indicating on the altimeter. The true altitude would be 3,700. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. I have to change it, I think. I will change it in MCDU.
Yeah, but Brendel, the thing is this, so I'm not sure if Microsoft simulates that effect. I don't think so, because I tried it a couple of weeks ago, where I put myself at 3,000 feet and then changed, and well, actually maybe it was 2,000, so I had a radio altimeter indication, and then I changed the temperature, but nothing changed, so the altimeter stayed the same.
Yep, understand.
So it's very theoretical, right?
It's the pressure altitude, what's the name?
There's density altitude and pressure altitude.
Density altitude, yeah, density altitude.
Exactly, yeah. So they're coming into land now. It's very smooth air as well at Blanche. So no turbulence whatsoever. Hey MAN, how are you doing? Nice to see you. No turbulence whatsoever. Nice. If anyone's interested, you can fly along if you like. Copenhagen to Bergen later on. I'm going to be on VATSIM, although I'm not sure if they're still going to be online, but I'll be on VATSIM. And today we're going to have an interesting failure. I want to talk about the flight control unit. Quite a long flare. Oh, yeah, but hardly noticed a touchdown. Nice. Heteromonia, fantastic. Beautiful. Yeah, what an amazing approach. Thank you much for sharing that.
Now that's how pros do it.
Yeah, in the Airbus. Yeah, I'll be in the Phoenix, yeah. Oh, there was another interesting discussion going on, but the video was actually quite old. I think I saw that before. Yeah, I know Ryanair. Look, it can happen to any operator, and I've been saying it on the Discord. I know Ryanair pilots, and they are professionals as well, just like any other pilot in Europe, airliners. And there's always black sheep. You'll find a black sheep in any airline. So it's quite. I always kind of feel sorry for for Ryanair being bashed all the time about hard landings or about something happening. In this case, there's a Ryanair plane where the pilot pulled open the reverser in the flare, so they hadn't touched down yet. Your dad's our black sheep. Well, he's not here right now, so... Although he may be just, you know, lingering somewhere, lurking. Don't tell him. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, and so, you know, people make a big thing out of it, which I don't quite think it is a big thing. Simply because in the 737, so in the classics, I remember that you could pull open the reverser at an altitude of 10 feet, so rate altimeter 10 feet and below. And 10 feet, so 3 meters, if you open the reversers, yeah, it's probably gonna give you a bit more of a hard landing. Well, not really hard landing, but it's not going to be a smooth touchdown, right? But per se, if it were really dangerous, Boeing would not permit that. So again, I don't think it's a huge deal. Is there a scenery? I mean, no, I'm using from flightsim.to. I'm using a scenery. Captain Aranja, it depends on the aircraft type. So yeah, there are aircraft, A320 for example, where you have to have a certain logic activate. For example, you know, gear compression, also it's a strut compression or wheel spin up, spoiler deployment, whatever. There's certain conditions that have to be met for the reverser to open up. However, in the 737 Classics, and it appears like in the NGs, that logic just simply said 10 feet radial altimeter and below. That's when the reversers can be opened. Well, I mean, I don't know about the max, so maybe the max are inhibited. Right, top descent. But I know that the Classics and the NGs obviously are capable of doing that. Oh, FS Icarus, really? What flight stick is that? Why would you do that? Oh, good question, Mark. I don't see any reason to do so. Oh yeah, and look at this. So Tremonia, you can see now, for example, that's the selected altitude, 19,000 feet, and with that descent rate, or well, actually we had a bit more just a few seconds ago. You can see it touched that line at 19,000 feet around 40 miles. So that's the same as this green banana, right? It gives an indication where you're going to reach that altitude. And so if you have terrain, like now, for example, let's say there were higher terrain there, you could kind of adjust your descent rate so that you don't get in conflict with that terrain. feet, interesting, because I remember 10 feet turnable approach, but that was, like I said, 737, that was almost 10 years ago when I stopped flying the 737, so my memory may serve me incorrect in that regard. TCA Airbus officer pack, okay. Rudder till not working. But FS Icarus, I know that you are... I don't know anyone else flying as much as you do, so I'm pretty sure that that flight stick has served you well. Cool. Let's do the preparations. We already set the order brake to 3, and because that steep angle, final descent angle, we'll use flaps 40, and the minimums, so literally you would have to use a higher minimum corrected if Microsoft would simulate that, which it doesn't, so it's not really that important. And Aero Guitarist, hello. Oh, hang on, Aero Guitarist, maybe you can shed some light regarding reversers. 10 feet or 20 feet? So let's check the recall. Landing elevation checked. Pressurization looking good. Fuel we checked. Min diversion in case of missed approach is 2.9. So we have in half an hour. Regarding aircraft ahead of me, I'll make sure that I do have some distance, about 10 miles. It's 10 feet? Okay, no worries, no worries. Like I said, these numbers, again, I do forget some of these numbers sometimes. That can happen. Yeah, beaver spotted. That must be a big beaver then, my god. Okay, so how are we going to fly the approach then? We talked a little bit about the LDA, the offset. So step down from 5.6 or 6,000, 5.6 until we get to Linz. That's where we intercept the localizer. We'll step down to 3,700 and then the final descent out of 3,700, 3.7 degrees. And then we go visual with the runway. And you can't really align yourself too early, and we'll see why in the approach later. It's because there's a hill there, so you have to keep that offset quite long, and it's kind of a low-level turn to the final approach course. MAN, you're going to join? Fantastic. Let me just check the routing then. And Globix, good evening, how are you doing? So...
in it's a kind of a crossing altitude table, so I can't check if I'm too high or too low.
Well, the problem is, Brennelt, I mean, it's only a 500-foot descent, isn't it?
500 foot? 3,700 to down.
Well, I mean, to the minimums. And so afterwards, afterwards they don't publish any altitude. So after the missed approach point, they don't, or the minimums, they don't publish anything. That's pretty normal. So
I have no chance to see if I'm too high or too low in the profile.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have a localizer DME, and the localizer, the DME is about probably a mile ahead of the threshold, so you have some kind of, you know, idea how much distance you have to go. Alex, yeah, fantastic. Okay, I'll probably do the holding as well then. So we're called Scandinavian, and we're going to fly from Copenhagen to Bergen. Regarding alternate, we're going to have a look later, and that's going to be in the Phoenix. So it's going to be minus 15 fuel flow. Take about 144 passengers. Do a bit of freight. And then extra fuel for one go around. Let's take a ton. The weather's pretty marginal actually, so it's not that good. Okay, Amayan, I've got your routing. I'll fly the same. Oh, really? Oh, Mark, fantastic. Oh, that's great news. Thank you so much. Yeah, and best wishes again. So thank you so much to all of them. Let's descend. We should be clear of any obstacles. So let's go down to 6,000 feet in this case. And we will check the weather. Oh, that's really cool. Flight time was about an hour 10 minutes. And guys, yeah, we've got control. So that's if you want to join. Fantastic stuff. Clear conditions, yeah. There was a question as well. Hang on, sorry. There was one more question.
What's that?
Problems?
Yeah, someone landed in the same second than me. He's literally landed in me,
That
which
was
is
me,
very
but I
disturbing.
didn't see you.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
you were invisible for me. I see
So-
like 3 other players, but nobody's on the runway for me.
Okay.
3003.
I guess.
Altimeter set. Poppies are there as well. Fantastic. That really helps. Cool. Although sometimes at daylight it's a bit difficult to see.
Yeah, I could see the puppies. I think 10 seconds for touchdown.
Okay.
Or maybe 20.
And I think it's a different poppy setup, isn't it? You've got one red light and one white light or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Staggered. Yeah, yeah. So a little bit different. I'm going to set the nav data now. So we're going to set the localizer on nav 1 and nav 2. We're going to have Sierra Sierra Romeo, and also we're going to have a beacon Charlie Golf Lima. So beacon is going to be 212.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Duo Channel experience.
Mark,
Could new
thank you so
subscribers
much.
please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served. Thank
Well,
you.
it's more like a Vasi Sapphire, but it's not like a standard Vasi that you would have here normally. Thank you so much, Mark, for gifting us up to Berego. Thank you so much, Mark. Big round of applause. Oh, nice. So, Berego, thank you so much for the control. I'll try to hurry up, I promise. I'm pretty much last in line, aren't I, for landing? Very likely, yeah. 109.9, the localizer. 109.9. Inbound course, offset we know 071. Hey, Amundos. Undercooled rain. Okay, that's nasty, yeah. Right, 071, put on both sides. 071. And initially 14.0. So I'll pre-dial that in a minute. So 14.0, Sister Island. And then pre-dial the localizer as well on this side. So let's have a look. So we can have ADF in here. So Charlie Golf Lima, already indicating. I just wonder if you have that center active, that should give you also a nice indication later on regarding the descent, right? Right, I'm gonna have holding at Sierra Sierra Romeo, so let's do hold there, and that's inbound 347 right turns. So there we go. So I'm going to enter the holding here. We'll slow down, obviously. Speed intervention. So let's go into there. I wonder why I don't have any indications regarding traffic. Can't go below, can I? No.
TFC on.
Yeah, I have TFC on. It's just I don't see on the. I was just wondering if I can switch to below on the panel. Hey, Perigot. Thank you so much. Once again, thanks for taking the time. Hope it's not too late. Maybe a bug. They use sand. Yeah, sometimes on some airports they do use sand, which is not really seen or not really liked by airlines, because obviously it can. Oops, that's me. It can cause some issues with the engines. Elna Fina. Actually, no, let's go vertical speed here. So in the holding, 1,000 feet per minute, speed is good. Report checked. So let's do a quick checklist. Descent checklist, pressurization, landing out to 50 feet set. Recall was checked, auto brake is 3. Landing data VREF is 129.
Welcome aboard
and
the Captain Black Box
minimum
Duo
is
Channel
3,700.
Experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the
MAN,
first class
sorry,
cabin,
Mark,
where
what's going on?
complimentary drinks, snacks
Blimey.
and premium flight infotainment will be served. Thank you.
Mark, thank you so much. Third gift of today, this time to Yurak. Thank you so much, Mark. Oh yes, Nicholas, I've had my fair share of rude passengers. It doesn't happen often.
Welcome aboard the
It's just that these situations stick in your mind. So, and most often, passengers that were angry or aggressive had too much alcohol. That's often the case, but it can also be someone that is a, let's say, frequent traveler, manager or whatever, that's under a lot of stress, that needs to be, on time for a very important meeting, and then you have delays and so on. So, as much as I understand the frustration that, happens sometimes in the aviation, there are limits, however, in what you can do, on board with regards to, to behavior towards other passengers and crew. But yeah, the worst thing really that will happen is obviously you get the police, and you have them take care of the passenger. The last time I had an issue where I had to call the police, that was during the pandemic, and someone not adhering to the mask regulations. And being very rude about it. So that was the last time, though. So let's have a look, and we should be all right regarding approach. I'm not sure. Moritz and Alex, are you guys in the approach, or what happened? Are you higher up, or? Because then I would start the approach. So I can see the localizer is identified. Alex is holding. Okay, alright, then I'll start the approach. Roger that. Cool. So how many miles do we have? That's about 12 miles to Linz. So we'll stay with, at the speed 207 there. Thank you so much, MAN. That's really kind of you as well. MAN, big round of applause, gifting us up to Amundos. And also to you, Ruck. That's 2 gifted subs from MAN. Thank you so much. Did they come at the same time? Pretty much. MAN, thank you so much. So let's see. So here is Captain Alex and Moritz. Thank you so much, MAN. Okay. So we'll start the approach then, which means I am going to go legs, hold, exit, hold, execute. Exit is armed. So it should actually now automatically continue with the routing. Hey Ivor Scotsman, how you doing? Nice to see you. Okay, so the landing minimum of 3,700 is set. Oh, not 700, 200. What am I doing? So there we go, we're exiting the hold as planned. So 3,200 is the minimum. Which is now set. And we'll descend 5,600 feet here. So vertical speed 5,600. And then once we're past Linz, that's when we will continue to descend down to 3,700 final altitude. Good. Approach briefing completed. Missed approach, we said, was up to 5,600 again. Balk landing, sharp right turn in the valley, steep climb, no acceleration until we're out of the valley, outbound on the localizer. Fix info page. Let's go fix. There we go, 20 miles. Wow, that view! Incredible. So, flaps 1, speed is checked. Flaps 1. I'll start slowing down. Moritz is ahead of me there. And it looked like the Moritz just went onto the localizer. So that's about 6-7 miles. Hey, Eternal, you getting mean by GSX? That can't be. GSX is perfect. Oh, you landed with Wuhan, nice. So let's go. Lock armed, if I find it. There we go. VO lock armed. VO lock armed there. Do I hear a slight anger in that voice? No, you're just imagining that. Yeah, Paul, exactly. I mean, I'm sorry for bashing GSX, but man, it has seriously, over the last 2 streams, has really, really annoyed me so much. Let's go flaps 5. Speed is checked. Flaps 5. I'm going to pre-dial 3,700. VUR lock. And we can start to descend down. Flaps non-standard 10. Speed is checked. Flaps 10. before I forget, lights on. Let's put these on. That's all fine. So what I can see from the vertical profile here, I can see that the vertical speed will not be enough to reach that altitude. Oops. So I'm going to increase the rate of descent so that we reach that 3,700. Gears coming down. Mad Dog, what's that? Never heard of that add-on before. Right, no Mad Dog, that's alright. There we go. So now we should be able to reach that. And have a look again. So we have to be careful though with the indications. So that may be a bit confusing. There's the airport. And that's the hill I was talking about. That's right on the center line. Yes, of course, Tremonia, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Alta quiet. Good. Let's pre-dial 3,200. That's the minimum. And down we go. Flaps 15. So we said about, I would say about 1,200 feet per minute initially, until we slow down. So 134. We have 7 miles, that's about 8 miles to the threshold. Any flight? Flight director's off. Let's put the flight path vector on. Flaps 25. And the auto thrust off as well. Careful descent rate here. That's a bit too much. Descent rate. So 6 miles, 2,400. Sorry, 1,800 feet. So we're still a bit high. Flaps 13 non-standard, just to slow down a bit more. And flaps 40. Let's add some power here. So now we need to try to get onto the right path. So let's see if that all coincides still. So we have about 6 miles to the airfield, about 5 miles estimated according to the DME from the localizer. So 1,500 feet is what we should be at. So we're coming into the right path. It's at about 60% power. So let's go 900 feet per minute. That reminds me, can we do that? Oh yeah. Oh yes please. So there we go. So 4 miles, 1,200. We're going to be a tad high still, so let's make sure that we descend. Landing checklist. Engine start switches are continuous. Speed brake armed, green light. And the landing gear is down 3 green, and the flaps are 40 green light. Landing checklist completed. Nice and stable. I would estimate 2.5 miles, so just still a tad high. 1,000 is checked. Just gonna let it keep coming down at 1,000 feet per minute.
So you quickly activate the recorder?
No, I'm gonna mess up the landing if I start switching around again. Okay. So I'm just gonna go here again, 1,000 feet per minute. Disregard. So do I see Parpies? No, not really.
Pull up. Terrain, pull up. Terrain,
So you can see we're literally just grazing that little mountain there. So quite incredible. So now I'm going to try to get onto center line. I don't see any party lights, if I'm absolutely honest. I'm a bit low, I can see that.
100.
That would have helped if we did have some party lights there. Oh, lag
50,
there.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Come on. Right, we've got spoilers, reverse green, and good deceleration. Manual brakes. Reverse is closing, and I just think what taxiway is that? Oh, there we go. Foxtrot to the left. Perfect. Ryanair landing here. We need to get a bit low at the end. Oh. Let's get off the runway. Lord. Flatly just coming off there. Oh, hold on. Where's the taxiway? Oh, no, it's there. Oh, dear. I'm surprised. I got quite low at the end. I'm not really that happy about that. There's the taxi line. GG's. You know, you can rest assured somebody's going to clip that. Yeah, that's why the kappa, right? So runway is vacated. $163 feet per minute. What do you mean hard landing? That was a beautiful landing. A bypass been inserted. Have a nice flight. I know, right? Oh dear. Yeah, a lot of aircraft here.
Good luck to find a parking spot.
I think there's only like 3 gate positions, isn't there?
Yeah, I already parked in the general aviation.
Oh no. Okay. 6, maybe 7.
After parking, that was. Can you try the drone and look if you have puppies there?
Yeah. Okay.
For me, I have them, but they are very small.
Yeah, it could be that in these light conditions you don't really see them that well.
But my experience says in reality you can see the puppies very bad as well.
Yeah. Since you're offset, that's the thing. If you're straight in, I guess you will see them a lot better.
Maybe, yes. But maybe they are a little bit oriented to the right side or left side so that you can see them better.
RP up for girls. No, they're not. It could really help. A slight loading issue? Yeah, that's what I just thought. Oh, I've got a parking spot there, I think. Hang on.
For VIPs, black box.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So APU is running. Very nice. So Alex is coming in. I'll watch us landing in a minute. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with that KLM there. He must have a different scene. I did deactivate the... Oh, because I deinstalled GSX. That's why. Ah.
I have the same problem here.
So...
It's broken.
Right, let's quickly, before we start shut down the engines... Oh no, it's still 700 meters. That's fine. So let's go... Do that. And then we have to hurry up to get the next flight going. So let's have a look if we can find some poppy lights. Yeah, that's the poppies there. They're very, very small.
Very small. Yeah.
And then if you go... Yeah, there we go. That would be on path. Have a look. Now you can just faintly see the red and the white.
Barely, yeah.
Now it's red. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that would have been the right indication. But what a beautiful place. And I mean, in summertime, obviously you have your water terminal, or what do you call it? Water airport. Right there. So you can actually do some nice flying here as well. With a Kodiak or a any float plane. Sea base, thank you very much. That's a word. Sea base. And there we got one snowed in aircraft. Right, so I'm going to file the flight plan with VATSIM now for the next flight. And we're going to do a fast setup and then get going. But like we said, there's going to be a failure which should not theoretically have a problem for us for landing. But we will check that. I'm going to use live weather, live conditions. So we'll see whether we're going to make it to Bergen, but I think we will. So. Yeah, we'll do real time, yeah. So we'll just watch Alex's landing and then we're good to go.
You will really fly real time to Bergen. And you simply see darkness outside and not a beautiful landscape.
Well, I think the weather today is pretty bad anyway, so we'll have a look. Oh, that was a nice landing. GG. Well done.
Yes. Kind of jumped.
Okay. Thank you so much, Brennel, for the group flight. Thanks for organizing everything.
Welcome.
Now that's how pros do it.
And yeah, so stay tuned if you want to see the Phoenix on a flight from Copenhagen to Bergen with a simulated technical issue. And otherwise, the next stream should be Wednesday. Thank you so much for the gifted subs, everyone. Thanks for resubscribing. Thank you for the support. My moderators, thank you for all the help. And yeah, stay tuned. See you soon.